Hi, it's Mark of the Cyberbeast, coming to you today from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the pollen capital of the world. Washed my truck this weekend, and obviously you can't tell because it is just coated again. Anyway, this episode is not about pollen. It's about Tesla's stock price. I got some great news and some good historical information. So, last week you may have heard our buddy Tim Walls. He says when he gets down and needs a little pick-me-up, he goes to his Apple iPhone, goes to his stock app, looks up Tesla and sees how it's going down. It was down to the 220s, and it helps pick him up and warms his heart. Well, he's actually the new Jim Cramer, because ever since he did that, if you're a big follower on X, you may have seen this weekend there's a lot of people that were going on to X, and they were telling people how to go to Robinhood and how to short Tesla. And they were telling you how to buy puts and how this is going to tank Tesla and make you money. Well, those people this weekend who did that, they got a harsh lesson in options that they're never going to forget, because guess what? Their put options turned to vapor. They're worth nothing, okay? Yesterday, the market opened. Now, Mondays aren't generally really green days, especially lately, but there was some talk about some of the tariff stuff that maybe they weren't going to go ahead and do tariffs anymore, or at least curb them a little bit. So what happened was the market popped. Well, also too, while the whole market popped, Tesla popped even stronger. What happened was all the institutions came out, because if you look at the volume of stock trades that went on over the weekend, on Monday, I should say, the institutions bought up 2x, twice the normal daily trades of Tesla, okay? That's amazing. Now, Tesla closed at over 10% up yesterday, and that's huge. Now, generally, a 10% gain is only for when there's earnings, an earnings report, or when there's some kind of major news announcement. But there was none of that. This was strictly the institution saying, you know, 225, we're not going to see this again. So it went from about 240s or so up to like 275. It had a great day, going over 20-something bucks yesterday. Now, people were concerned that today it was going to crash out, and it didn't. So yesterday it closed around 275 at 4 o'clock. Right now, as I'm filming this video, it's around 280, okay? It went down, it went up. Stocks do that. But you got to understand, I trade stocks. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. We invest heavily into Tesla stock. For it to go a second day up to 280, this is huge, okay? This is, there's that kiss of death Jim Cramer puts on things, right? Whenever he says, now is the time to get into Tesla and buy Tesla, that means it's going to go down, because he is just the exact opposite. Well, Tim Walsh must have just learned from him, because Tim Walsh says, oh, it's going down, and guess what? It's not going down anymore. It's going up. It's probably going to hit 300 this week, okay? Now, those of you out there who have Teslas, okay, I know we've had my wife's Model 3 for 6 years, and had this for going on a year almost. And most of you out there, you're Tesla investors. Why? Because you believe in this company. You want it to succeed. These hard-working 100,000 people, these men and women who work hard on this dream of autonomous driving, solar, right? And so the safest cars, the safest American-made cars out there, okay? Guys, gals, Tesla stock, it had a bump in the road. All stocks do. Look at Facebook. Facebook was way up there, and it went down a couple hundred points. It took a big shellacking, okay? It's slowly getting up there, but Tesla bounced back so quickly. I have a lot of faith in the people out there who understand Tesla. It's not just a car company. They've got the Optimus robots coming out. We've got the autonomous driving that. What's funny, we got GM and NVIDIA now, they're saying, oh, they're partnering up to solve autonomous driving. They're about 10 years behind Tesla. Not only that, they still don't have the data center. And who's going to build and house this data center? You think GM is going to buy and build their own data center, or are they going to borrow someone else's? Okay, who are they going to call to scale all those NVIDIA GPUs? All right, look, this is Elon's game. You're in his wheelhouse, and you're going to compete with him here? I mean, I'm sorry. I give GM credit for trying to go ahead and compete with the master, but let's face it, Ford's probably just going to go ahead and license this because it's a smart thing to do. You're better off partnering with Tesla than working against them. And if you look at the stock, you'll see why. Just look at the stock lately on Uber. Okay, Tesla said they're coming out with the robo-taxis. Tesla flat out said they are not going to partner with Uber. Okay, they're doing this on their own. Tesla does not need anybody. Other people need Tesla. And if you look at Uber, Uber's got deals with Tesla. That's why you've got so many Teslas out there. If you take Uber, you'll see there's an option for the green Uber, and you'll see there's a lot of Tesla drivers that are Uber drivers. And the reason being is because Uber drivers get a special deal to finance their Tesla. Usually it's a Model 3 or a Model Y. And, you know, Uber relies on Tesla. Tesla does not rely on Uber, okay? Tesla marches to its own beat. And you got to remember, too, Tesla holds about 12,000 Bitcoin as its cash reserve, okay? And I know Bitcoin went down around 88,000 or so, but it's going back up to 100,000. And every time it goes up to that 100,000 mark, that stock goes up along with it, okay? So great week for Tesla this week, a great pop. I don't see it going back down. I think everything these activists did totally frickin' backfired on them, all right? The exact same thing that happened when they tried to pull this stuff with the gentleman they elected president, right? They trumped up charges against them. They did all these things, and instead of taking them down, it made them stronger. Well, Elon has got more support now from more people on more sides of the aisle than anywhere else. Elon still has support from the left. He's now got solid support from the right. It's just a handful of a small percentage of loud people. And these small people, you know, most of these protesters are paid, okay? And they're loud, but they are a minority. They're probably 10% of America, okay? Not anymore. People understand what Elon's doing. They understand the Tesla car company. They understand that this is not only the safest American car they could buy, but it's the best one that they can buy. And this truck is the best-selling EV truck for a reason. Heck, I think it's already sold more, Tesla's already sold more Cybertrucks this year than Ford sold Lightnings all of last year. That's insane. It's not even the end of the first quarter. So if you're not a Tesla stockholder, I can't give you tax or financial or investing advice. I'm not licensed to do so. You're going to run into your own risks. But this is a great company. It's solid. We are what we call all in on Tesla. Okay, for those of you who watch the All In podcast, we're all in. We let our runners run, okay? And this is what we've invested in. So this has been a great week. I had to do an episode on this stock pop. 10% in one day is insane. And then, like I said, it's another 1% or so today. It's still going green, and honestly, it's still looking good for the rest of today. I'm excited to be a Tesla stockholder. I'm excited to be a Tesla Cybertruck owner. Not excited to be charging right now. I got to take off, so I'm going to have to unplug and take off. But I appreciate you joining me today and hear me just speak my mind about Tesla stock. I want to hear from you. Are you a Tesla stockholder? Do you need help investing and advice on it? Do you own more than 100 shares of Tesla and want to make weekly income and want to know what a covered call is so that you can go ahead and make money off your Tesla stock? I can help you out. And again, it's just something to help increase your income, not really sell your stock, but just Airbnb your stock, right? You can rent out your stock and get paid a couple $100 a week just by renting it out, so to speak. So there's some great videos on YouTube on what's called covered calls. And that's how you make great money on your Tesla stock. I really appreciate you guys for seeing me and putting up with me every day. But as always, I'm going to ask you, hit like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear from you. I want you to like, and I want to see you again tomorrow.